Best pastry maker that I know of, anybody, or yeast bread dough maker. That lady had a knack that she was born with, and she practiced. What did you have? Practiced every day.
Oh, we ate every day.
And it was fresh.
It was good.
Yeah. And so her recipe, although I have not tried it, I would think is going to be the same result. Hers calls for 3 eggs and a very little amount of butter. Mine calls for 1 egg and a little more butter. That's the only difference that I can see. And I can't see that if you used one or the other, you would have any difference in the outcome. You need a towel. These are old sheets. I used to use an old tablecloth. It's worn out. The strudel is made entirely on there, and thus helps us get it into the pan. And the first thing we do with that, and I'm going to be working on 2 of them, so when we get to rolling, pulling, I expect that somebody will come up and help do this. It is not hard. No matter what anybody tells you, we're sprinkling a little bit of flour on it, so that's not going to be good to eat. It's going to be called apple strudel. You need that much flour, you bet. And then we need that dough that is warm and lukewarm, and it could be a little warmer than it is, but it should be fine. The trick is you don't want to get it too hot, and you definitely don't want it cold. And I usually mix up the dough, then I go ahead and peel my apples. By the time I'm done with that, it's usually ready to go. Have a rolling pin. That's normal. Anytime you're pushing as close to 80 as I do, you get away with anything. All right, I'm going to very lightly I almost didn't need it. The old timers made them as big as the kitchen table. If it was round, they had a round one. What we need to do to bring it out now is put your hand down and pull this dough out. And I want it to go into a rectangle. And I can tell you right now, it's not quite warm enough, but it's going to come. This hand I use to hold down what I don't want to stretch anymore. And we just keep this up. The older ladies would have told you to be really careful. You don't want holes in it. Never tasted a bad hole in my life. Now this is beginning to feel like to me that it won't make as big as I was thinking, but in my mind I have to keep telling myself that I am making it only to fit on that pan, and I want to get 2 rolls on there, so I don't need it to be much wider than this. However, we're going to work until we get it stretches quite nicely. So far, we're not eating any holes. Sorry, I just can't without walking around. Never take it back.
Betty, you're not using the rolling pin for this part of it.
Nope. The only thing I started with the rolling pin for was, a lot of times you have a bigger amount than this, and you want to make it in a rectangle. It's easier to get the rectangle going if you use a rolling pin to start it. And of course, you're going to have a little bit thicker on the ends always. See, and by putting my hand down, I'm telling the dough it can't pull from there. I still don't have quite a rectangle here on this side, and I'm thinking, okay, we need a little more dough up that way. I'm going to call that one good enough. He's still not quite as square as I would like him, but he'll eat the same, and we have to have something on the edge for an end, so Daryl has his favorite piece. We used to, at the cafe, make a bunch of them, and of course the customers didn't want to buy the ends, but Daryl was happy to come in and take them off our hands and eat them all.
Yes.
Yeah. He,
Except you're not the only one who likes them.
you like them too? All right. Okay. The next, and I guess we're going to roll one up first, and then I'll have you come and help me make the second one. I'm going to take that. I usually use just graham crackers. Today I mixed vanilla wafers in it, so if it tastes a little different, that could possibly be the reason why. Your recipes can call for many things. They can call for apples. They can call for raisins. They can call for coconut. They can call for nuts. Today and every year for the last, I don't know how many years, you've eaten one that has only apples in it. Simply because my family, somebody doesn't like coconut, somebody doesn't like raisins, heavens, we should eat a raisin. And it's a known fact that the one who does not like those things gets the biggest amount in his piece. Ask Michelle how many raisins she ever got in a cinnamon roll. You'd have thought somebody dumped them all in the one spot, because to hear her talk, she must have got every one of them. Okay, there it is. Now we need a little bit of sugar on it. And you could drizzle some melted margarine over it. In this day and age, with the amount of calories we're all watching, I don't really think that the butter does all that much to it. And half the time I forget it anyway, so. And cinnamon. Must be a new one.